Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Ann Emanuel. Former President Donald Trump arrived in New York City for his expected booking and arraignment following his indictment on criminal charges last week. Alexis McAdams has the story.
Just hours before former President Donald Trump heads to court here in New York City, he's added yet another lawyer to his legal team to fight back against these charges. Former President Donald Trump has arrived in New York City ahead of his historic arraignment, and New York City was ready for him with a heavy police presence and barricades across the downtown. NYPD officers surrounding Trump Tower, where the former president is staying.
I want to make it clear, the commissioner has stated over and over again, there has been no specific credible threats to our city at this time.
While the exact charges remain under seal, this indictment stems from the alleged 2016 hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal, which the Manhattan DA has been investigating for 5 years. Despite the allegations, Trump says he's innocent.
This is a case of political persecution. Had he not been running for presidency, he would not have been indicted.
Trump's legal team has vowed to fight the charges. On Monday, the former president also hired a new defense lawyer, Todd Blanche. As the former president gets ready to face a judge, his supporters get ready to rally in New York in a protest organized by Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and New York's Young Republican Club.
While there may be some rabble-rousers thinking about coming to our city tomorrow, our message is clear and simple. Control yourselves.
And just since the news of this indictment broke, Trump's team says they've raised a record $7 million for his re-election campaign. Reporting in New York City, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
The American Red Cross of Western New York reports that blood samples from a truck that overturned are safe to use following an accident early Sunday morning. Around 3 a.m., the Bath Volunteer Fire Department was dispatched to an overturned tractor-trailer on I-86. The truck was carrying 18 boxes of blood products that were toppled over in the crash. According to the fire department, both the truck driver and blood products were unharmed. Schuyler County is set to receive over $300,000 in opioid settlement money pending a county legislature vote on April 10th. CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens are paying the county to settle the claims that they contributed to the ongoing opioid crisis. According to Schuyler County Attorney Stephen Getman, the money will be used to help the anti-drug effort. Easter celebrations are beginning across the Twin Tiers, including at Bradley Farms. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg tells us what's in store at the farm this year following opening day.
Bradley Farms have officially opened their doors for their 103rd season. While it's not quite vegetable season yet, the farm does have something new planned for this year. Bradley Farms held their grand reopening this past weekend. While the farm is mostly known for vegetables, they're beginning to make a name for themselves as a local event center.
Sure, probably 35 years ago, we started doing a little bit more to entertainment of Halloween. Just beyond just growing the pumpkins, we found there seemed to be a need for people who wanted a little bit of entertainment to go with it, and one thing led to another, and we just kept adding different things and events, and it's become a big part of our income for the farm.
This year, for the first time, Bradley Farms will be hosting an Easter event this Friday and Saturday.
During the winter months, we considered, well, why don't we try to think of something maybe for Easter? Because there are several free Easter egg hunts provided by towns all around the region, and we support those. Those are great ideas, but we decided we wanted to do something a little different and try to add some value to just the egg hunt for the things that we already had here.
At Bradley Farms Easter Egg Experience, there will be wagon rides, tennis ball cannons, rubber duck races, and of course, Easter egg hunts.
Well, we're a testament to change. And I bought the business 40 years ago, so there is no Bradley, but we just kept the name the same. However, we've been through a complete metamorphosis. We're not doing hardly anything that we used to do in the beginning. I mean, this was primarily a vegetable farm, and those days are gone.
Bradley Farms will still have vegetables and other products available in the coming months as farming season begins. Until then, you can sign up for the Easter Egg Experience on the farm's website. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Elmira.
Park Church in Elmira is restoring all of their stained glass windows just in time for Holy Week. The 100-year-old windows were removed 2 years ago, and specialists have been restoring each piece of glass ever since. The project was made possible by a surprise donation. The Park Church was a beneficiary of the estate of Charles William Brand. Brand was born in Elmira and baptized at Park Church. OPEC Plus, some of the biggest oil producers in the world, announced there will be production cuts starting next month. The move is expected to bring about higher gas prices this summer, at a time when the U.S. is still trying to get a grip on inflation. Edward Lawrence has a closer look from the White House.
Gas prices could soon be creeping higher once again following the recent decision by OPEC Plus to cut oil production by more than 1 million barrels per day starting next month.
What this means is that prices are going to go up. We're heading back into the summer and refining a situation where we might see prices that are exactly in the similar range where they were last summer, and that was problematic for everybody.
Saudi Arabia, which currently has a strained relationship with the U.S., announced the biggest cut among member countries at 500,000 barrels a day. A government official there says the decision is, quote, a precautionary measure aimed at supporting the stability of the oil market.
I'd expect this to continue as demand slows. I think the economy is going to continue to slow worldwide throughout this year. As that happens, expect supply cuts to offset any sort of demand destruction.
The average price for a gallon of gas stands at $3.50. Some experts say the global production cut means prices could reach $4 a gallon during the summer travel season.
This is going to have a negative impact on inflation. So ultimately, this may be good for the Saudis, the Russians, some of the OPEC Plus countries, but for the global economy, for inflation, for interest rates, this is not a positive development.
The Biden administration criticized the decision given the global market uncertainty. At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
2 workers die after getting trapped in a trench at JFK Airport in New York. It happened this morning. The workers died after getting trapped underneath construction rubble. That's according to the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which operates the airport. The workers were pronounced dead at the scene. There is no word on what type of work they were doing. The Port Authority is investigating. 4 more states are on board in the effort to stop a proposed JetBlue-Spirit Airlines merger. California, Maryland, New Jersey, and North Carolina signed a lawsuit Friday joining the Justice Department's effort to intervene. New York was already a part of the effort. Attorney General Merrick Garland filed a civil antitrust lawsuit last month, saying the merger would lead to higher fares, fewer seats, and harm consumers. JetBlue wants to buy the ultra-low-cost Spirit Airlines for $3.8 billion. We have the latest in our forecast next. Plus, NASA announcing the astronaut crew for the Artemis II mission. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
We had a pretty active start to our new month. As we rolled into that first day of April, we were watching the warmth build ahead of a system. Now, it did bring our temperatures into the 70s, the first of this year, and just on par for average. We typically see our first 70-degree day in Elmira just around March 30th. So on par for average there, but then we were building in some stronger storms that were bringing some damaging wind gusts to the area, getting upwards of even 50 to 60 miles per hour, and then brought that cooling trend into our Sunday. Now, we were able to make those rebounds, and we'll continue to talk about making rebounds here as we head into this week with more of this heat and instability back in place. Now, setting up into our Tuesday, we keep mild temperatures through the overnight into those lower 40s, and then look at highs to climb into those mid to upper 60s. Now, through the overnight, as we will stay very mild into those 40s, we note that we're going to be bringing in some scattered showers. There's going to be a stationary front just through those Finger Lakes, and that's going to bring some spotty showers, but still even some areas of some sunshine possible. Not going to be a washout forecast, but keep yourself aware that there could be a few showers developing, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. But where there will be a higher risk to talk about some thunder concern is when we head into Wednesday night. The low pressure system that's working its way through the Great Lakes will be sending in again a warm and a cold front. And that cold front into the evening hours is going to bring that potential of some stronger storms as we head from Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So we already know that the Storm Prediction Center, which puts out these outlooks, and those areas underneath that marginal risk. Now that risk runs into the very early morning hours of Thursday. So we'll have to watch the timing of the system and the threats that will come with this. We're still looking at a few hours out from this, upwards of that 48 to 72 hours. So changes are expected. So keep yourself wary of these concerns, because again, it could be another one of the wind and potentially isolated tornado threats depending on the arrival of the system. Now, as we roll into the forecast here, as mentioned, we are back underneath that warming. There is that stationary front that's through the Finger Lakes, so a little bit cooler up through the Finger Lakes. You can see with that gradient, 40s and 50s will be possible. But sitting just south of that stationary front allows for that southerly flow to stay in place with temperatures into those mid-60s. If we're able to see some sunshine, that's what's going to bump us up to potentially even flirt with those 70s. That warm push will continue into Wednesday. That is going to bring our temperatures back up into those lower 70s. So again, similar setup to Saturday, where we have that warmth and instability. And then as that frontal system makes its passage, there will be the potential that some of that energy of that heat could be used to bring some stronger storms like those wind gusts, again, and isolated tornadoes. So we'll watch that potential. But again, with us being on the far side of that system, it's going to be more of potentially even an early Thursday morning event that we will need to keep a close eye on. So isolated storms mentioned at least through Thursday. Then behind that system will be underneath some slight cooling, but we'll have a drier end to the week and then look to bring those dry conditions into that Easter weekend forecast, where we look to make another rebound in those temperatures to the 60s by Sunday.